Back in the late 80s to mid 90s, when computers started becoming more commonplace in the average home, people realized that PCs could actually be used to play video games instead of just doing math or writing business memos or whatever people did on computers in those days. Much like on consoles, games took on many different genres and styles, but one genre that rose to prominence thanks to the PC was the simulation game. Games like SimCity, SimAnt, and SimEarth were all big hits and quite different from the average game on the market at the time. Then, in 1994, the world was introduced to Theme Park, a simulation game where you guessed it, build and operate a theme park. It was a big hit, and as with any big hit, there came imitations, the most popular of which was Roller Coaster Tycoon, released in 1999. Roller Coaster Tycoon was arguably a better game, and is a game I used to play a lot as a kid. I'd stay up till all hours of the night during summer breaks playing that game, and man, it was a good time. Like Theme Park, Roller Coaster Tycoon was also a big hit. Pretty much every kid I knew who had a PC at home had this game, and much like Theme Park, soon all kinds of Tycoon games flooded the market. Seriously, there are so many Tycoon games. Airport Tycoon, Cruise Ship Tycoon, Mall Tycoon, Lemonade Tycoon, Toilet Tycoon. Yes, there is an actual game where you build and manage bathrooms. But the only one to ever come close to rivaling Roller Coaster Tycoon's success was Zoo Tycoon, a game where you run a zoo. Yes, now you too can be just like Matt Damon or Kevin James.
When I was a kid, this game actually had more appeal to me than even Roller Coaster Tycoon. Because as much as I loved roller coasters and theme parks, I actually loved animals even more. There was a point in time when I wanted to be a zoologist, just like my hero at the time, Steve Irwin. So when I found out this game was a thing, I begged and I pleaded with my mother to get her to buy it for me. And you know what? She did. Which is kind of surprising because it was kind of a rare thing, you know? She didn't buy me video games all that often. I didn't get all this shit until I grew up and became a man and could afford to buy shit like fucking Rock Band Lego Edition. And I played it a lot when I was younger. I played it all night, all day, all that shit. And you know what? I was terrible at it. Like, unbelievably terrible at it. And I picked it up again recently to see if it still held up and to see how good I was at it. I'm still bad. But the game's good.
The point of Zoo Tycoon is to, of course, build and manage a successful zoo. First thing you gotta do is pick your location. Once you do that, it's time to get to work. Let's name our zoo real quick here, and there we go. Now we begin to build stuff. Of course, the first thing you'll want to do is start making animal exhibits, but I recommend building some restrooms and food stands first. Food is where a lot of your revenue comes from, and if guests can't go to the bathroom, they won't be happy. And if your guests aren't happy, you'll fail much quicker than you will otherwise. Now we can start making some animals. Every animal requires different types of terrain, foliage, and rocks to make their exhibits suitable for their needs. Once you make an animal, you can get information on them to see what they need to make them happy. Once you get their exhibit in order, now you can just kind of let them do their thing. Hire a zookeeper to make sure they're properly fed, and then they can clean their poo. Sometimes your animals can even get sick, and if that happens, they can die. K. Rool has died of old age. Oh. Well, I thought he was already dead. There are tons of different animals to make in this game, from common animals like elephants and gorillas to sea animals and even freaking dinosaurs. How cool is that? I mean, okay, yes, there are at least 4 different movies about how reviving dinosaurs could be a terrible idea, but look at my iguanodons. So majestic. There's even some fictional animals in here. If you name an exhibit Xanadu, you can unlock unicorns. Unicorns tend to be big hits with guests. And scalpers. You can even make a Yeti. I named him Harold. Nobody's going to get that reference. Why is this in the script? One of the things you'll need to do to unlock any of the best animals is put some funding into research and development. With this, you can unlock new plants and shelter types, make your staff quicker and more efficient, and of course, unlock all kinds of neat animals. Guests always tend to go crazy for endangered species, and if you can make them mate, you'll get a nice donation so that you can make more animals. Like a giant sloth. Nice. But the best thing you can unlock using this method is the one, the only, the goddamn Jeep stomping, lawyer munching motherfucking T-Rex. That's what life is all about, guys. Having a virtual zoo with a T-Rex in it. Gotta enjoy the little things. Except nobody seems to want to see my T-Rex. It's a living dinosaur! I get it, white tigers are cool, but remember, Tommy wasn't the leader, Jason was. Honestly, it really doesn't get much better than the Tyrannosaurus. It's pretty much the pinnacle. So let's just make some tuna.
You know, playing this game again recently for this video, I found that it still holds up rather well. I mean, sure, maybe there are a few things that could be explained a little bit better, but I actually found myself having a really fun time reliving this experience. I found myself really caring when the animals got sick or were unhappy or if my guests weren't having a good time. I think it's still really good. It gets pretty hard though.
After a while, you will go broke. As your park gets bigger, you need more staff to care for the animals, which means paying more wages. And you need more food and beverage stands to keep guests satisfied in all areas of the park, which costs money. And because you're probably not a fucking accounting major, it's bound to hit your funding like Mike Tyson. And well, with no money left to run your park, there's only one thing left to do. Thank you so much for watching my video. I made it all by myself, like a big boy. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and support me by subscribing to the channel? That would be super cool. Or if you want to maybe watch another video to see if you like my stuff enough to subscribe, you can watch my review I did of a game called Ninja Clowns. It's an old arcade beat 'em up that's really bad. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.